Did you know that Haiti is amongst the most dangerous countries in the world? And despite just having a population of around 10 million people, it is also the poorest nation in the entire Western Hemisphere, which is a stark contrast to its neighbor, the Dominican Republic. The average Haitian is more likely to be 10 to 15 times poorer compared to a Dominican. According to a report by the UN, organized crime syndicates and gangs murdered over 2,000 people in the first 6 months of 2023 and kidnapped over 1,000 people. On the other hand, because there aren't as many ethnic differentials in the Dominican Republic and the fact that the island nation won its independence some years after Haiti, the country didn't waste any time in implementing strong socio-economic and political strategies growing into a politically and economically stable nation. Hi and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to take a comprehensive dive into the stark contrast between Haiti's challenges and the Dominican Republic's success, and how it can be attributed to historical, social, economic, and political factors. Haiti gained independence from France in the early 19th century, owing to a slew of violent slave revolts, which began in 1804. 40 years later, Santo Domingo, which was a Spanish colony, present-day Dominican Republic, gained their independence. The country was under a 300-year colonial rule until its independence. However, there were a significant number of wars started by both sides of the borders since 1804, which is amongst one of the chief reasons why Haiti has plunged into absolute poverty. On the other hand, the Dominican Republic thrived and matured into a stable and successful economy throughout Latin America. Haiti lies in the western region of the Hispaniola Island, situated just west of the Dominican Republic. There are two official languages spoken in Haiti, Creole and French, with the former being spoken the most. The Dominican Republic lies in the eastern region of the same island and borders Haiti to the west. There's only one official language in Dominican Republic, which is Spanish. Before the island of Hispaniola was colonized by the French and Spanish, it was home to the Taino people, an indigenous tribe. After Christopher Columbus discovered the island in 1492 during his travels to find the Americas, he conquered Hispaniola for Spain. During colonization, the first set of Europeans came to the island in 1493. And throughout a couple of hundred years, the once proud and thriving Taino people were left devastated and on the brink of total annihilation, mainly due to the types of diseases they contracted from both Spanish and European travelers. In addition, the Taino people were also subjected to slavery and forced labor. Towards the end of the 17th century, the western region of Hispaniola, present-day Haiti, was taken over by the French, who renamed the island as Saint-Domingue. During French rule, the island experienced staggering prosperity and was amongst the wealthiest colonies throughout Latin America, owing to its massive coffee and sugar exports. However, it's important to know that this economic boom came at the cost of the brutalization of the African people who were enslaved and forced to do backbreaking work. This is what led to small-scale slave revolts and resistance fighting, and subsequently, the Haitian Revolution. The revolution started in 1791 and was led by key historical figures such as Toussaint Louverture and Jean-Jacques Dessalines. The revolt lasted more than a decade, and ultimately, in 1804, Haiti won its independence. But the country was devastated due to the wars. There was no political or socio-economic structure in place. This led to the nation plunging into deep-rooted poverty and unemployment. The Dominican Republic came under Spanish colonization towards the end of the 15th century and gained its independence in 1844. One stark difference you need to understand here is that, unlike Haiti, the Dominican Republic had a vastly different dynamic, and there were no violent revolts in the island nation. Sure, the people there had to contend with slavery, but that didn't play a vital role in the country's economic prospering, unlike Haiti. This was also because the Dominican Republic wasn't as agriculturally rich as its neighbor. While the island nation did experience long bouts of political disarray owing to foreign interventions, it wasn't affected by the war in Haiti. Over time, the nation gradually focused on streamlining its economy by implementing diverse socio-economic policies, establishing its agricultural and manufacturing industry, and diversifying its services sector, attracting foreign interests throughout the globe. Unlike Haiti, the DR wasn't solely dependent on its agricultural sector. There's no question that Haiti has had and continues to have significant economic challenges, all of which have plunged it into a devastating spiral of unemployment and poverty. Moreover, the country has a very feeble infrastructure owing to several factors, both historical and political. You'd be surprised to learn that according to a World Bank report, an average Haitian earns up to $2 per day. Yes, not per hour, per day. This has led to absolute destitution, malnutrition, and meager access to essential services such as healthcare and education. In addition, there's widespread underemployment and unemployment, with a majority of people unable to find a stable line of work. This problem is further heightened by a lack of decent employment opportunities, specifically in rural regions of the country, where most of the population lives. To make matters even worse, Haiti doesn't have a reliable transportation infrastructure. There's no electricity, and access to clean water is scarce. All of these factors make it next to impossible for businesses to operate. On top of that, the country is susceptible to earthquakes and other devastating natural disasters, such as flooding and hurricanes. In case you're not aware, Haiti experienced a harrowing earthquake in 2010 that claimed the lives of up to 220,000 people, destroying what little infrastructure the country had and further deepening its economic tribulations. In contrast, the Dominican Republic has experienced substantial economic and socio-political growth throughout the years and is widely renowned as a thriving Caribbean country. The nation has a heavy yearly influx of tourists. More than 8 million people visit the country each year from around the globe, bolstering the nation's tourist industry. This has led to several foreign companies developing businesses such as top-notch golf resorts, spas, and much more. Moreover, the federal government has successfully implemented innovative modernization strategies to further propel the country's agricultural industry. For instance, the Dominican Republic has, over the years, become one of the biggest exporters and producers of natural cocoa in the world. In addition, the country has also heavily invested in developing a streamlined transportation infrastructure, produces its own energy, and has a thriving telecommunications sector. And according to a 2021 estimate, the total GDP of the Dominican Republic was $94.2 billion. In contrast, Haiti's GDP in the same year was $20.94 billion. A stark difference indeed. Haiti has to contend with a slew of very serious social issues that have hurt its economy and its overall social wellness over the years. These problems are primarily interlinked with factors such as growing poverty levels and staggering social inequality. For instance, there are deep educational inequalities throughout, where only the privileged have access to good education. The rest, especially the people living in rural areas, have no access to quality education. It's absolutely disheartening to know that over 60% of the country's adult population, or more than 4.6 million people, are illiterate. They don't know how to read or write. Moreover, the country doesn't have an adequate healthcare system, and there are rampant shortages of critical care facilities and medical professionals. Another reason why Haiti's economy is in freefall is because of sheer social inequality. The few govern the many, and only elite families or political figures hold vast amounts of wealth and power, while the rest of the country struggles to make enough to make ends meet. Also exacerbating the issue is the lack of access to clean water and the fact that most Haitians have no choice but to live in unsanitary conditions, makeshift houses, and slums. On the other hand, the Dominican Republic has made surprising social and economic strides over the decades, focusing on investing in key areas such as healthcare, education, and social equality. The country has experienced significant success in making education accessible to all its citizens. According to statistics, over 91% of adults and people over the age of 15 are literate, with the male-to-female ratio in terms of enrollment being 91.2% and 92.3% respectively. Moreover, the federal government has also invested in providing people with various literacy programs, has developed quality primary and secondary schools, and is home to a variety of high-ranking universities, recognized throughout Latin America. In addition, the government has also introduced different types of social welfare programs with the objective of combating poverty, which include cash programs where impoverished people can apply to receive Social Security payments. In terms of infrastructural development, constant efforts have been made to supply both rural and urban populations with adequate access to water and electricity, further minimizing social disparities. Plus, the country has impressive transportation, all of which continually add to its economic growth. Haiti has long been plagued with political insecurities and instability due to rampant corruption and has experienced a slew of coups that have only weakened its governance and political infrastructure. You'd be surprised to know that in a 2009 interview with Michel Pierre-Louis, who was Haiti's prime minister at the time, she revealed that the governance system is full of corrupt politicians with systemic cronyism that's impossible to root out. She stated that these were some of the major barriers preventing Haiti from undergoing any democratic electoral process. Over the 20th century, Haiti experienced 7 coups and coup attempts. Even more if you go back in history. The country has long been governed by an authoritarian system rather than a democratic one. Moreover, Haiti is also a crime-infested nation that's more or less dominated by organized crime groups and gangs, giving rise to gang-related violence for political and monetary gains. There's zero accountability in the country, and the ruling elite or the wealthy have long been manipulating the system in their favor. In comparison, the Dominican Republic has focused on consistently optimizing its political infrastructure and governance, with a strong aim to instill a solid democratic system. Moreover, the change in governance and leadership has always come through fair and democratic electoral legislation, where the military involvement is less to none. Plus, the Dominican Republic has also invested in establishing a variety of democratic establishments, which also include a multi-party system, a powerful judicial infrastructure, and a streamlined legislature. In a report by the World Justice Project, it was determined that up to 56% of people trust that accused individuals will undergo due process, with 54% stating that the justice system also treats the victims equally. Moreover, throughout the 2000s, the government of the Dominican Republic developed new and improved transparency reforms in terms of public budgeting accountability and the supervision of funds as well as public services. The country has a rather decent financial administration and has invested in laying the foundations to allow citizen participation in its overall governance framework. Voodoo, or Vodou, is profoundly and intrinsically rooted within Haitian culture and plays a very prominent role in terms of the nation's cultural identity. Practiced by many people in Haiti, its voodoo culture influences a variety of facets of their daily life. One of the most integral characteristics of voodoo in the country is its deep amalgamation with Catholicism, as the Haitians associate a wide variety of their spiritual deities with different Catholic figures and saints. In addition, voodoo also envelops a variety of different medicinal practices and spiritual cleansing or healing in the form of annual ceremonies, cultural dances, and offerings made to the spirits in the hopes of seeking guidance in different facets of life. It's safe to say that the practice has helped develop a sense of unity and cohesion in the Haitian community, as it brings people from all walks of life together through ceremonies and spiritual events. On the other hand, the Dominican Republic, too, has multifaceted cultural traditions and heritage which was, by and large, influenced by the Taino people, who lived during the Spanish colonialization. The country observes its deep roots in its African heritage, which is profoundly and often beautifully reflected in musical festivals, cuisines, and art. So that's it for today, guys. We'll get back to you with another interesting video soon.